This got heavy. Hello everyone, welcome to Sinful Division. Today is Saturday, which means we are going to be talking about true crimes. Either it is about history's those forgotten cold cases or about those dangerous, deranged and weirdest killers. So if you are interested in true crime, then I suggest you to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon right beside it, because I am here for you every Saturday with a new true crime video. On November 16, 1971, a 10-year-old girl named Carmen Cullen disappeared. She was returning home from Rochester, New York. She was originally from Puerto Rico. She actually went there to a pharmacy because her grandmother sent her to get some medicine, but she couldn't get anything because the prescription her grandmother sent with her was not processed. So after she found out that it was not processed, and she was repeatedly saying, I got to go, and she went out of the pharmacy. As soon as she got out of the pharmacy, she was seen entering a car parked really close to there. 50 minutes after this incident, which means 50 minutes after she ran out of the pharmacy and was seen get into a car, many people observed a child running half naked from West Town from a vehicle which was believed to be a dark colored Ford Pinto hatchback. She was waving her hands for any vehicle to stop on the road, but the car that she was running from slowly backed towards her. Then a man got out of the car and held her arm and led her to the vehicle. Many people saw this incident, but nobody reported it for further 3 days, and by then Carmen's body was already found. On November 18, two teenagers found Carmen's body lying naked near the village of Churchville. So in this story, actually the victims' murders were linked together because of the different similarities they had. I will get to that in the end, but I just wanted to give a heads up of why these murders were linked. But you will notice several things of why. Her coat was discovered 300 feet away from her body, and the place where her body was found was actually 12 miles away from she was last seen alive. She was last seen alive by those witnesses running half naked. Why didn't anyone complain or call the police right away? Why didn't anyone? An autopsy was done which revealed that she had been raped and there was a fracture on her skull and one of her vertebrae. This was not done post-mortem. This was done before the killer manually strangled her. In addition to that, her body also had deep finger scratches, fingernail scratches, sorry. Maybe she tried to fight the killer, maybe that's how she got that. One thing is that so many people saw her running half naked and even asking for help, but nobody did anything. I'm not telling that they should have jumped in front of that car or anything, just they should have called the police. That's the least they could have done, but they didn't say anything for the 3 days. And after she was killed, murdered, tortured, that doesn't mean anything. They just know that she was alive by then. Initially, two New York newspapers, the Times Union and the Chronicle and Democrat, I think I got that wrong. The Democrat and Chronicle, sorry, the other way around. So they combined together and set a reward of $2,500 for any information leading to arrest and conviction of the murderer. Later on, many local businesses and residents also donated, and the reward was increased up to $6,000. Anonymous telephone hotline were started and many billboards were set on the highways, and police also investigated a lot of potential suspects in the following month, but there was no luck finding the killer. It bugs me. Her body was found on November 18, and by December 21, police already decreased the investigators that were going to investigate that case. They were decreased to, the full-time investigators were decreased to 3. So it had been 17 months of Carmen's death, and on April 2, 1973, a 11-year-old girl named Wanda Walkovich disappeared from the east side of Rochester. She was returning home from an errand. She was actually gone to get some groceries and was reported missing by her mother at 8 p.m. Police searched several locations, the locations she could have gone and locations she regularly goes to play with her friends, but they had no luck finding her. Three of her Wanda's classmates had seen her struggling to carry the bag of groceries, so she was taking support of the fence to get a better grip of it. That's when a brown vehicle passed. Wanda's body was found right next day by a police officer at base of hillside in Webster. She had her full clothes on, but by the position of her body, it was most likely that she had been thrown from a moving vehicle. Obviously, an autopsy was done, which revealed that she had been sexually assaulted and was strangled from backside, most likely with a belt. So her body also had many defense wounds, which mean that she actually fought her murderer. They were also able to find traces of semen and pubic hair on her body, and her clothes had white cat fur in it. But Wanda's family had no pet of that kind. Just like in Carmen's case, an anonymous telephone hotline was started and flyers were distributed all over Rochester, and also they had reward of $10,000 for any information leading to arrest or conviction of her murderer. There were various eyewitnesses who saw Wanda standing beside a passenger door of a brown vehicle. An individual later contacted investigators to the anonymous hotline saying that she had seen a man force a red-haired girl matching the description of Wanda into a light-colored Dodge Dart on Conkey Avenue at around 5:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. There were many suggestions made linking the murder of Carmen and Wanda, but the Rochester Police Department dismissed any of those kind of suggestions. But later a sheriff's sergeant who was assigned in the case of Carmen was later reassigned in the task force to investigate the murder of Wanda. So maybe the police was considering the link between this murder, but they just didn't want to confirm and scare everyone that there was a pedophile serial killer on loose. 7 months after Wanda's murder, it was November 26, 1973, a 11-year-old girl named Michelle Maenza was reported missing by her mother. Her mother reported it to the police after Maenza didn't return home from school. So Michelle was last seen by her classmates at around 3:20 p.m. when she was walking alone to a shopping plaza to get a purse that her mother had actually left earlier that day. 10 minutes after that, a witness saw Michelle sit in a passenger seat of a tan vehicle which was traveling in a high speed in Ackerman Street. According to the same witness, Michelle was weeping. On the same day at 5:30 p.m., a motorist saw a man standing beside a tan vehicle with a flat tire. He says he was holding a girl who the motorist strongly believes to be Michelle Maenza, and when the motorist approached him by seeing the flat tire and asking if he could help him in some way, but at that time the man grabbed the girl by her arm and pulled her beside his back, and also was blocking the view of license plate from the motorist. So he had a feeling that something was sketchy, but that man gave him a really threatening look, so he was compelled to drive away. Why didn't he call the police? Okay, he drove away. I'm not saying he should have stood right there and fought with the killer, but he could have went to a safe distance and called the police. So on November 28, 10:30 a.m., Michelle's body was found. She also had her full clothes on and her body was lying face down in a ditch in Macedon. Autopsy revealed the same pattern that was seen in the before murders, as she was raped and strangled from behind, most likely with a thin rope. They were actually able to retrieve a palm print from her neck, and the semen sample they found was sent for an analysis, which confirmed that she had been raped by the one individual, and her clothes also had white cat fur. An analysis on her stomach content was done, which shows the traces of hamburger and onion consumed right before 1 hour of her death. Many witnesses had actually seen a girl with a man on a fast food restaurant in Penfield at around 4:30 p.m. the same day of her disappearance. Carmen's funeral was conducted in November 22, 1971, and Wanda's funeral was conducted in April 6, 1973, and Michelle's funeral was conducted in December 1st, 1973. I said before that these murders were linked due to different similarities. So the similarities were that all three of the victims, their first name and second name started with the same initial, like CC, Carmen Cullen, Wanda Walkovich, WW, and Michelle Maenza, MM. And also they were all from Catholic family, they were from poor neighborhood, they were struggling at school, and they were between the age of 10 and 11. And also, in addition to all that, all of their bodies were found in the town with the same initial of their name, like Collins was found in Churchville, and Michelle's was found in Macedon, and Wanda's was found in Webster. But it is also said that Carmen's murderer was different and Wanda and Michelle's murderer was the same person, because Wanda and Michelle's murders, all the description match, but there are few differences on Carmen's murder, because Wanda and Michelle has white cat fur. Michelle didn't have that. Wanda and Michelle was redressed after death, but Michelle was just left lying naked, and Carmen was strangled from front, and Wanda and Michelle were strangled from the back. And profilers say that, if you don't know what profiler is, profiler are the people who read and analyze someone's psychology and behavioral characteristics. So profilers say that strangling someone from front and strangling someone from back are very different thing, and it is very rare that the same killer would kill by those two different methods. That's why it is said that Carmen's death might have been done by some other man, and Wanda and Michelle's murderer could have been the same. So investigators investigated more than 800 potential suspects, but no luck was found, and this case still remains unsolved at this date. There are actual books like Alphabet Murder and A Nightmare in Rochester, which are based on this case. And I read somewhere that this was actually when the people in Rochester were introduced to pedophilia. So that's it for today. I mean, this got heavy. I don't know. I mean, I do true crime videos. Every case is heavy, but maybe it's the thing that it wasn't solved, that these poor souls didn't give the justice, their family don't have the answer. Maybe that is why this case is more heavy. They were children's, they were little girls, and I don't know, but this case just, it brings out different kind of mixed emotions, not only just frustration and anger, everything. People say that police didn't actually commit themselves with these cases because they were from poor neighborhoods, but I don't think that's the case. I think police lacked in the beginning, but eventually they did what they could do. But I blame actually the witnesses. There are many cases that are not solved due to many mistakes on my police, but in this case I blame the witnesses. I mean, when you have an instinct of danger, then I think the most percentage of time that is right. Even if that is not right, if you have instinct that something is going on, something is wrong here, then you should just call the police. If you are wrong, then okay, fine, you were wrong. But if you were not wrong, then you could have saved someone's life. So trust your instincts. And thank you for listening. I think I already said that. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. I don't even have that, cheerful energy to say with a smile on my face. I also upload on Tuesdays, so make sure to check that out. Keep the humanity alive. Bye.